Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. It's fantastic you are here. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on Alana Miles, and through her song, Still Got This Thing, we looked at the passion and fire of relationships. So I trust you found that one an encouragement. We're going from there to a lass that was born in 1988 in Tottenham in London. This girl is an absolute powerhouse. She's a diva, and in the words of the Academy Awards when she sang a song there, unstoppable. Singer, songwriter, diva, and she's a lass that I've been fortunate enough to see in concert when she came to Adelaide. Who we're talking about? Adele. Now the world knows Adele well and truly. She is a very significant force in the world of music. And in 2008 she released her album 19, in 2011 the album 21, and 2015 25. It's quite a clever way of naming albums, I'm thinking. And as well as the 3 albums, there's been 1 video album, 8 music videos, 2 EPs, and 15 singles. It's estimated that she has sold around 120 million albums worldwide, making her extremely successful. Influences from soul, pop, rock, and she's also been in several TV and film appearances. I can remember being interviewed by people. It goes on a bit of a concert/interview when we find out a little bit more about her. This girl has got an absolutely stunning, powerful voice, one of the best really in the world of music. She's won a few awards, an Academy Award, a few American Music Awards, BBC Music Awards, Billboard Awards. She's won a Golden Globe. So both sides of the Atlantic she's received awards on. She has received 15 Grammy Awards. That is substantial and very, very significant. In fact, she's a number of Guinness World Records she's the holder of. She's received a Juno Award from Canada as well. In fact, she's been nominated 150 times and won around 86 times. It just goes to show that Adele is not just a singer, she's a force of nature, that is for sure. Now, there are many songs we could go to for Adele, and we've got 4 links below for 4 of the songs today. But I thought before we get on to those, there's one song in particular I'd like to have a talk to you about today, and that is the song Someone Like You. This came off the album 21 from 2010. The story goes very much of a lass that is being very, very true to her feelings, and she's remembering the guy that she used to be with, and now almost being regretful of the fact that he's now found happiness with a girl that's made his life complete, but she has actually gone to visit him. I need to confess, when I first heard this song, the lyrics were a little bit unsettling, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with them. I think the thing that concerns me the most, now before I get onto concerns, I need to say how incredible Adele's vocals are in this particular song, and how heartfelt and raw and vulnerable the lyrics are. Oh my goodness, it doesn't get much more vulnerable than that. But you know what it's like though, your life might be going really, really well, and things are happy, and you've got a really good relationship, it's happy and strong and all the rest of it. And then all of a sudden, someone comes up from your past and says, hey, I'm just still thinking about you, and I'm wishing you all the best, but I'm thinking about you. And then what goes from happiness to is a little bit of confusion. Oh, I don't quite know how to be at the moment and how to feel at the moment. Yes, it was a special time, but it kind of moved on a bit. If you are the recipient of someone who was doing this to you, how would it make you feel? You'd be feeling like it was a bit strange and a bit weird. But certainly my heart goes out to the person who's telling this story as she recounts and looks back, because she actually doesn't visit this guy, and so It's pretty full on. She's very absolutely true to her feelings here. But I just wonder at times, sometimes we need to let things go and we need to leave things where they are. Because sometimes the last thing, we're kind of holding on and hoping for the best, and we'll just really, really try and just hold on to everything we possibly can, just in the hope that things will go back to where they were. Well, it is the case with this particular song, life for the guys well and truly moved on. And the last thing you'd probably want is to have this come back to haunt you. And I'm sure for the girl of the guy, she's probably wondering what's happening as well. It's just sometimes we need to leave things go. We need to let things go, particularly when it involves other people, when it involves other people's emotions and vulnerabilities and pasts. The worst thing we can do is to try to recoup something which may not be gone. But as human beings, we just have this uncanny desire and ability to want to hold on to things at all costs. And then we feel game one day and we think, well, I need to be true to my feelings here, maybe true to myself. And I need to just go and see where things are. Or as was the case with this particular song, there were lots of ill-meaning words, but it was never going to go anywhere. So I wonder in situations like that, it's a really desperate act to be able to go back and do something like this. And perhaps it's a desperation that you don't need. Because as the guy has moved on, obviously moved on to a really, really happy life, the other person needs to move on as well. So how do we know when the time is to move on? We don't really ever know for sure, but if we're starting to think about them less and less, or we're starting to think about more and more regret because we know that things aren't ever going to happen again, that might be the time to move on. We take the learnings that we need to learn, though, by the way, we take them with us and we try to look at them in a positive light going forward. Because the last thing we'd want to do if it's a couple of years down the track is to go back into a situation like this one, which means we haven't resolved it in ourselves. We haven't moved on. We're actually stuck there, and we don't want to face the future. Well, to become unstuck, we need to take what we need to learn and move on. And the best thing we can do, particularly in this story here, despite the vulnerability of the lyrics, is to let it go. And so if you are in this situation today where you are in this I can't let it go moment, but it really doesn't feel like there's going to be anything there, need to let it go. Don't let go of the experience though. It's experience that we've had, and we'll look back on and think, yeah, that was really, really cool, but we can't let that experience hold you from moving forward either. And so I do wonder if someone in this particular state of mind right now should be going back to someone and saying, I wish I could meet someone just like you. There won't be anyone quite like that person. They'll be a little bit different and a bit unique, and just them. Because we don't want to reflect our past onto somebody to try and shape the future. We don't want to do that. We need to shape the future that's best for the two of you, whoever that may be. So if you need to let go today, let go. Resolve it in yourself. Let go. If you need to do something, write the guy a letter, but don't send it. Just write it and hold it there. And at some point, you might be able to use that to let it go. So trust that will kind of be an encouragement for you today. Well, on to the clips. And Adele does have a bit of a theme to her songs. She tends to talk about the more sadder type of love at times. But I think what she does is she's created a resonance with her audience by not being scared to go into these emotions and feelings. So we've got Someone Like You. This came off the album 21 from 2010. This is the official clip, and yeah, here we see the story being told in such dramatic and compelling way. We then got the song Rolling in the Deep. This also came off the 2010 album 21. This is a live version from the Brit Awards, and so, as I said before, she's won awards in both the US and in England and many other places around the world, actually. So here we see Adele performing live one of her classics. Now, the Academy Award I was telling you about, that was for the James Bond movie Skyfall. This is a song that Adele wrote. 2012 James Bond movie Skyfall. As I said, she won an Oscar for this particular song, and this is a performance from that particular evening, a live version of Skyfall for you to have a check out as well. Adele just absolutely commands the stage when she's on it, and people just listen to every note that she sings because she's got such an amazing voice. The song Skyfall, by the way, 7.2 million digital downloads. So there we go. And I thought I'd also get another live-ish, studio live-ish version, When We Were Young. This came off the album 25 from 2015. Again, just looking a little bit back at the past and seeing what it was like back then and seeing where they are now. So that one's there for you as well. And so the links to those 4 songs are in the description below. And by the way, I've also put a link to the video, my last video from Alana Miles. And so if you want to recap on that one, feel free. Well, if you have come back for another video, or this is your first time to Life Reflections through Music, thank you everyone for being here and for hanging around to the end. That's always the encouragement. And if you'd like to make a request, there have been a few of late, feel free to drop it in the comments. More than happy to do that one for you. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to go on to one of the, well, Queen of Soul, really, Aretha Franklin. I thought I'd carry on the Diva series a little bit here, so we'll look at her next time. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.